Hey there and welcome back to the channel. It's Bryson with Dimes for Dollars here, and in today's hunt we have two more boxes of pennies. Hunt number 71 coming up. Boxes 147 and 148, and we're getting awful close to 150 boxes hunted. That being said, there's still 38 holes left to fill, most of which are in the teens, 20s, and a few in the 30s. So hopefully we'll find something old that goes for the book. In today's hunt, you never know, you gotta hunt them to find them. And I went ahead and popped the top of this first box to see if we have any lucky enders. And unfortunately there's nothing that stands out on this side, but I'll flip the box over, we'll check the other side, and we'll get right on into the hunt. Well, I just flipped the box over and this side definitely looks healthier. Lots of copper on this side, and we even have a wheat cent ender. This one's a 50s wheat cent. Looks like it's going to be a 52 from San Francisco, if we can get it to focus here. There you go. Pretty hard to see, but that'll come up in roll number 10, so stay tuned for that one. And let's get started on roll number 1. Roll number 3, and we have our first wheat cent of the hunt. This one's going to be a 1957 out of Philadelphia. Very next roll, and we have another 50s wheat cent, and this one's going to be a 1953 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we have another 1953, but this time out of San Francisco. Roll number 6, and wheat cent number 4 is going to be our first 40s find, a 1946 out of Denver. Very next roll, and wheat cent number 5 is going to be another 1946, also out of Denver. Roll number 8 is going to give us two more wheat cents. The one up front is going to be a 1956 from Denver. The next one's just right back here. And that one's going to be a 1950 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we're still on a roll with another wheat cent here, making for 8 already. And this one's going to be a 1952 out of Denver. Also thought I'd mention, very next roll is going to be that wheat cent ender. Well, roll number 10 had two more wheat cents in it. The one up front was surely a 1952 San Francisco, just as we predicted. The other wheat cent is way back here. And this one's going to be a 1942 Philadelphia. 11 wheat cents now in 10 rolls. Roll number 12, and we have another wheat cent from the 40s. This one's going to be a 1944 Philadelphia. Well, the very next roll is absolutely loaded. We got 3 wheat cents in it. The first one's going to be a 1946 from San Francisco. The next two are almost back to back, right back here. And this first one is going to be a 1953 Philadelphia. And this one's going to be a 1946, also out of San Francisco. Roll number 15 is going to have two more wheat cents for us. The one up front is going to be another 1944 from Philadelphia. And the other wheat cent is just back here. And that one is going to be a 1950, also from Philadelphia. Very next roll, and we got two more wheat cents here. The first one is a 1957 from Denver, and the next one is back here. And that one's going to be a 1949, also Denver. Roll number 17 is going to have two more wheat cents, which now puts our total up to 20. We have a 1946 San Francisco. And right back here, the next wheat cent. And that one's going to be a 1953. The next roll's wheat cent is going to be another 50s one. Another 1953 out of Denver. Very next roll, and this feels like a dream. We have so many wheat cents in this roll. One here, 1946 Denver, but then we also have one right there, one right behind it, and possibly one back there. So let's go ahead and just go through this roll. We saw this 46 Denver already. Next one's coming up back here. That one's going to be a 46 from Philadelphia. Very nice shape. Let's go ahead and just go through these. Next one's going to be a 1952 from San Francisco. The one right behind it. It's going to be a 1956 from Denver. Just go ahead and go through the rest of this. I think that might be one too. Yep, that's a wheat cent number 5 on the roll. 1953 from San Francisco. Roll number 20 and wheat cent number 27 is going to be a 1946 out of Denver. Roll 21 and we got another 40s wheat cent. And this one's going to be a 1944 from Philadelphia. Roll 23 and we have a 1945 this time. And it's pretty faint, but there's a mint mark as well. It's going to be a 45 San Francisco. Roll 24 and we got 2 more. The first one is going to be a 50s wheat cent from 1955 out of Philadelphia. Next wheat cent is right back here. And this one's going to be a 1946 Denver. Halfway point of the box, and we just got 3 more wheat cents. The first one's going to be a 1952 from Denver. And the next one's back here. And that one's going to be a 1944 Philadelphia. Our third wheat cent of the roll, almost at the end. And that one's going to be a 1952. Looks to be out of San Francisco. Very next roll, and we just hit wheat cent number 35 of this first box. This one's going to be another 1950 out of Denver. Roll number 28, and we got 2 more. The first one is going to be another 50s wheat cent, a 1957 from Denver. And the next one is back here. And that one's going to be a 1953 from Denver. Roll number 29 only had 1 wheat cent, and it's going to be a 1956 out of Philadelphia. Roll 30, and our wheat cent this time is going to be a 50s one, a 1957 out of Denver. Roll 31, and we have a 40s wheat cent this time. And it's going to be a 1946 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we got another 40s wheat cent. And this time it's going to be a 1944 out of San Francisco. Roll 34, and we got ourselves another 1953 out of Denver. Roll 35 is going to have 2 more wheat cents. The first one is in pretty rough shape, but it's going to be a 1955 from Denver. Next wheat cent is right back here. And that one's going to be a 1947 Philadelphia. Very next roll, we got 2 more wheat cents, and one of which is our first pre-40s find of the hunt. This one's going to be a 1928 out of Philadelphia, which is a nice old coin. It's in pretty good shape for being dang near 100 years old. The other wheat cent is just right here behind it. And that one's going to be another 1946 out of Denver. Roll 39 has 2 more wheat cents. The first one is going to be a 1953 out of San Francisco. And the next one's back here, and it looks to have some damage on it. And that one's going to be a 1953 out of Denver. Roll number 40, and we just found 2 more wheat cents, which puts us up now to 50 wheat cents on the first box. We have a 1957 Philadelphia here. And wheat cent 50 is right back here. And this one's going to be another 1953 out of San Francisco. Roll 43, and we got 2 more wheat cents. The first one is going to be another 1944, but this time out of San Francisco. And the next wheat cent is back here. And that one's going to be a 1952 Denver. Roll number 44, and we have another 50s wheat cent, another 1953 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we got 3 more wheat cents. The first one's going to be a 1958 from Denver. Here's the next one. And this one's going to be another 1953 out of San Francisco. As for the third wheat cent, that one's going to be a 1956 out of Philadelphia. Roll 47, and we have another 1953 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we got 3 more wheat cents, and the first one is going to be another 20s wheat cent, another 1928, but this time out of Denver. It's a really nice find there. Other 2 wheat cents are almost back to back. Back here. And this one's going to be another 20s wheat cent, another 1928. Another one out of Philadelphia. Another really nice detailed coin. As for our third wheat cent, this one's going to be a 1952 out of San Francisco. Very last roll of box one, and we got one more 50s wheat cent, making for 61 wheat cents found in this first box. It's going to be another 1953 out of Philadelphia. Well, we just flipped over box number 2, and I gotta tell you, this looks even more promising than the first box, if that's even possible. We have 4 wheat cent enders. The first one is right over here. It's going to be a 1944, likely out of Philadelphia. We have a Canadian ender right here, right next to another wheat cent ender. We have a wheat cent ender back here, and over here, all 3 of the other ones are reverse showing, so we won't know until we get to them. But either way, let's see what roll number 1 holds for us. Roll number 1 is going to have one more wheat cent for us. Another 1957 out of Denver. Roll number 3, and we're going to have 2 more wheat cents here. The first one's going to be a 1947 out of San Francisco. And the second wheat cent's back here. And that one's going to be another 1952 out of Denver. Roll number 6, and we got 2 more wheat cents in this roll as well. We have a 1949 from Philadelphia. And then back here, second wheat cent of the roll, it's going to be another 1944 Philadelphia. 2 rolls later, and we have another 1944, and this time it's going to be out of San Francisco. Roll number 9, and we have another 50s wheat cent, another 1953 out of San Francisco. Very next roll, and this time we have a 40s wheat cent, another 1946 out of San Francisco. Very next roll, and we have another 1944, and this time it's going to be out of Denver. Very next roll had that first wheat cent ender, and after opening it, we can confirm it's going to be a 1944 out of Philadelphia. Roll 13, and we got 2 more wheat cents. Our first one is going to be another 1957 out of Philadelphia, and the second wheat cent is back here, and that one definitely looks old. Let's see what the date is. Alright, well, it's not as old as I thought, but turns out it's a 40s wheat cent, 1948, and out of Denver. Very next roll, and we got one more 40s wheat cent, and this one's going to be another 1946 out of Denver. Roll number 15, and we have another 50s wheat cent. This one's going to be another 1952 from Denver. Roll number 18, and we have 3 more wheat cents here. First one's going to be a 1946 San Francisco. Next one's right back here. That one's going to be a 57 out of Denver. And the last wheat cent of the roll. And that one's going to be a 1944 out of Philadelphia. Roll 21, and we got another 40s wheat cent. And this one's going to be a 1945 out of San Francisco. Roll 22, and we got 2 more wheat cents. Our first one's going to be another 40s wheat cent, 1944 from San Francisco. And the other wheat cent is right back here. And that one's going to be a 1940 Philadelphia. Roll number 24, and we got 2 more wheat cents. Our first one's going to be a 1951 from Denver. And the second wheat cent is back here. And it looks to be a pretty nice one. And it's going to be an earlier one too, 1941 Philadelphia. Awesome. 2 rolls later, and we got another 50s wheat cent. This one's going to be another 1952 from Denver. Roll 27 in box 2 is going to have wheat cent number 85 of the hunt. And this one's going to be a 1950 from San Francisco. Very next roll, and we have our first 30s wheat cent. And this one's going to be a 1939 out of Philadelphia. Roll number 29, and we have a 1954 this time. It's in pretty nice shape, and it's going to be out of Denver. Roll number 30 has our second 30s find, and 88th wheat cent of the hunt. This one's going to be a 1938 from Philadelphia. Roll 31, and the next wheat cent's going to be another 50s wheat cent, and it'll be a 1952 out of Denver. Very next roll, and wheat cent number 90. It's going to be another 1944 from San Francisco. Roll 34, and we have another 50s wheat cent, a 1950 from San Francisco. Roll 37 to box 2, and we have another 50s find here, and it's going to be another 1950 out of Denver. Roll 39, and we got 3 more wheat cents here. The first one's going to be another 1950 out of Denver this time. Next wheat cent is right back here. And that one's going to be another 1953 from San Francisco. And the last wheat cent of the roll. And this one's going to be a 1946 from Denver. Roll number 40 had another one of those wheat cent enders. So we got it all laid out here. Let's see what the date is. Alright, that's going to be a 1955 out of Denver. Roll number 42, and we have another 1953 here. And this one's going to be a 1953 from San Francisco. Very next roll, and we have another 1953, also out of San Francisco. 4 rolls from the end, and we just got wheat cent number 99. And this one's going to be another 1944 out of San Francisco. Roll 48 of box 2, and we have done it. We've broken 100 wheat cents in one hunt. This is the ender roll, and the wheat cent is going to be a 1950 from San Francisco. Very next roll, and wheat cent number 101 on the hunt. It's going to be another 1952 from San Francisco. Very last roll of the hunt, and we're going to end it off with one more wheat cent from the 50s. Another 1957 out of Denver. Well, the hunt is finally drawn to a close, and it was quite the hunt. We had a lot of finds today. We had 42 Esmond Memorial cents, along with several Canadian cents, one being a 1967 bird cent. We also got 9 shiny copper cents. We got 58 50s wheat cents, along with 39 from the 40s, with the best one being this 41 from Philadelphia. We also got 5 pre-40s. We had a 1939, 1938, both out of Philadelphia. We had 2 1928s and 1 28 out of Denver. That 28 out of Denver is also going to add to the book, so that's really exciting. Let's go ahead and make the addition. Well, there we have it, the 1928 Denver, and as you can see, it is a slightly lower mintage coin, only 31 million minted, so definitely a really nice find there. Just to give some perspective, the rest of these holes in this page are all slightly lower mintages as well. So hopefully someday we can get them filled, but for now it's really exciting to get one new addition for the book. Just to move on to the 30s, let's just take a peek at some of these still to go. And I've actually found a 31S in circulation before, so it is possible, but that is a key date for sure. So hopefully one day we might find a second one, but we're definitely getting pretty far along in the 30s. As for the teens, we still have a lot of holes left to go. So hopefully one day we'll fill these as well. There are some more common dates like the 17 and 18 Denver and the 1911 out of Philadelphia, which is probably the most common one we still have left to go. That being said, that's going to do it for this hunt, so I hope you all enjoyed. We're now up to 233 spots filled out of 270. It only took us 148 boxes to get there, but hopefully it's a sign of things to come because we had a really good hunt today. 102 wheat cents. Definitely an awesome hunt. And I wish you all luck in your own endeavors. I'll see you in the next one.